Keeper, a movie that asks the question, what if your anniversary trip wasn't just awkward, but it felt like a slow motion panic attack filmed inside an art gallery? If you've been watching this channel, you know I have a complicated relationship with Osgood Perkins. The Blackcoat's Daughter, masterpiece. Gretel and Hansel, stunning. But I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, that movie felt like watching paint dry in a haunted house where even the ghosts were bored. And now we have Keeper. It had an incredible trailer, very long legs, very cryptic. But the actual movie, it frustrated the hell out of me. Not because it's scary, but because it felt like someone rummaged through an elevated horror junk drawer, pulled out every A24 trope they could find and glued them together with vibes. Today we're dissecting why Tatiana Maslany deserves a chiropractic adjustment for carrying this entire film on her back, why the first hour is a legitimate test of your patience, and the visually stunning cinematography that almost saves it. And stick around because there is a visual choice in the third act that is so bizarre, so technically impressive that it almost redeems the entire mess. Almost. But first, we have to survive the dinner party from hell. So let's get into the plot. We follow Malcolm, he's a doctor, and his girlfriend Liz, played by the always incredible Tatiana Maslany. They're off to a secluded cabin for their 1-year anniversary. Right off the bat, the cinematography is doing the heavy lifting. Perkins knows how to shoot a frame. He uses negative space like a weapon, making you stare into empty corners waiting for something to move. It's unsettling, it's pretty, it's also really quiet. Then the movie decides to test our patience. The romantic getaway is crashed by Malcolm's cousin Darren and his model girlfriend Minka. Darren brings a gift, a boxed cake. Now, rule number 1 of any horror movie, if the loud, obnoxious cousin hands you a mystery cake in a cabin, throw it in the woods. But no, we keep the cake. And let's talk about Darren for a second. This character is basically a caricature of the annoying guy. You know, the type, the loud, chaotic, exists purely to raise the blood pressure of the audience. He's the Cousin Eddie of elevated horror, but without the charm. Minka, who supposedly doesn't speak English, whispers a warning to Liz that the cake tastes awful. Spoiler alert, the cake is evil. Here's where the movie starts to drag. We spend a lot of time in this cabin just existing. Liz eats the cake at Malcolm's insistence because apparently gaslighting is an appetizer for this anniversary dinner. Later that night, she wakes up and just destroys the cake. Then she starts having visions, screaming women, a pregnant lookalike, and then in a trance, she eats the cake. She finds the severed fingers inside the cake. She keeps eating. This is a great gross out moment, but it highlights the script's biggest issue. Liz is smart, but the plot requires her to do very stupid things to keep it moving forward. Minka gets taken out by an unseen force. Malcolm leaves for a medical emergency. Classic red flag. Leaving Liz alone with Darren. At this point, we are an hour in, and honestly, it's a slog. If you aren't vibing with the slow atmospheric dread, you are checking your watch. The pacing here is glacial. It's all mood and very little momentum. But then things start to ramp up. Darren gets the chop, thank God. And Liz starts to see some truly nightmare fuel imagery. There's a ghost with a plastic bag over her head. This is Perkins at his best. He knows how to make a single image stick in your brain like a splinter. But why is this all happening? Why the cake? Why the fingers? The answer is coming up, and honestly, you might have already guessed it. So we are entering the spoiler zone. If you want to experience the sticky, sweet madness of the ending yourself, go watch it and come back. But trust me, you have to hear how they fumbled this reveal in the one scene that is actually sort of genius. Malcolm returns. Liz tries to leave. He gaslights her again. She locks herself in the bathroom, classic slasher move, and finds a photo. It's Malcolm, but he looks the same, and the photo is old. Malcolm breaks in and drops the exposition bomb. But this is where I went, really? That's it? The twist is that Malcolm and Darren are 200 years old. They shot a pregnant woman 2 centuries ago. She gave birth to monsters, and now they feed women to these creatures to stay young. It's straightforward. It's almost too simple. After all that atmospheric buildup, the answer is just Magic vampires, but with extra steps. It feels like a plot from the Tales from the Crypt episode, stretched out into a 2-hour art film. But here's where the movie almost redeems itself. Liz isn't eaten. The creatures recognize her. She looks like their mother. There is a moment where Liz is surrounded by these abominations, including Baghead Lady, who reveals a face full of multiple eyes and mouths. And she just starts laughing. It's hysterical, terrified laughter. Tatiana Maslany really sells this moment so hard. And let's talk about what the movie is actually trying to say, because beneath the junk drawer plot, there are some interesting bones here. Perkins is obsessed with generational trauma, usually regarding mothers. Psycho was his dad's legacy after all. In Keeper, we have a reversal. The mother is the monster, but she's also the victim. There's also a heavy theme of toxic preservation. Malcolm is a keeper. He keeps the house. He keeps the secret. He keeps his youth. But he treats women like perishables. He consumes them to extend his own shelf life. It's a literal interpretation of men using women to feel young, discarding them when they spoil. Which brings us to the ending, the honey jar. Malcolm starts aging rapidly because the jig is up. Liz, now fully embracing her role as the new mother figure, eyes blacked out, looking demonic, feeds him the drugged cake, and then she drowns him in honey. She dunks his head into a jar of honey and just walks away. It's vicious, it's golden, it's suffocating. It's a fantastic visual metaphor. He wanted sweetness and eternal life, and he drowned in it. It's a killer ending. I just wish the movie didn't make us wade through so much mud to get to the honey. So where does this leave Keeper? Tatiana Maslany, she is doing everything in her power to elevate this script. The cool cinematography is top-notch, creepy, cold, beautiful, and that ending is undeniably cool. The bad is the pacing. The first hour is a genuine test of endurance. In the script, it just feels like it's trying too hard to be smart without actually having a complex mystery. You'll guess the twist before the characters do. It's not Pretty Thing bad, but it's not Black Coat's Daughter good. It's squarely in the middle for me. I'm giving Keeper 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's a stylish, frustrating, sticky mess. If you want to see Osgood Perkins actually nail this vibe, go watch Longlegs or The Black Coat's Daughter again. But I want to hear from you. Does a great ending save a boring movie, or is a slog, no matter how much honey you pour on it? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm Wes, this is Atomic Cult Media. Stay weird.